Have you ever thought about how your liver might be screaming for help without you even realizing it? Imagine for a moment that inside your body, one of your most hard-working organs is waving a red flag, quietly begging you to notice, while you carry on with life as if nothing's wrong. Shocking, isn't it? Most people don't realize this until it's too late, and the truth is, by the time symptoms of liver trouble show up in a way you can't ignore, your liver may already be struggling. Let me ask you this. How often do you pay attention to subtle changes in your body? That unexplained fatigue, the itchy skin, the odd discomfort after a meal due, you just shrug it off? Well, what if I told you those might not just be small annoyances, but your liver's silent cry for help? Today, I want to take you on a journey into something deeply personal, something that affects millions of people over the age of 50. We're going to talk about the 10 overlooked signs your liver may be in distress, signs so easy to ignore that even smart, health-conscious people often miss them. And along the way, I'll share my own reflections, some lessons from people I know, and insights that may just save you or someone you love. So if you've ever felt like your body was sending you mixed signals, stick with me. This may be the most important message you hear today. First, let's set the stage. The liver is the ultimate multitasker. It filters toxins, helps digest food, balances hormones, processes nutrients, and even supports your immune system. Think of it as the quiet janitor that cleans up after every party your body throws weather. That party comes from a big dinner, a glass of wine, or exposure to everyday chemicals. Yet, because it works behind the scenes, we rarely thank it, and worse, we often ignore its cries for help. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Unlike your heart, which screams with chest pain, or your stomach, which cramps when upset, your liver whispers. And those whispers, they come in the form of subtle signs most people overlook. One of the most common silent cries is constant fatigue. You ever woken up after a full night's sleep and still felt like you had no energy to face the day? Many people in their 50s and 60s chalk this up to age, or stress, or just getting older. But in reality, chronic tiredness can be your liver telling you it's overloaded. When the liver can't filter toxins efficiently, your body becomes bogged down, like a car engine running on dirty fuel. And here's my personal take. I've seen friends who thought they just needed more coffee, when in fact their liver was begging for a break. It's not about pushing through with caffeine. It's about listening to your body and asking, why am I always this tired? Another overlooked sign is unexplained weight gain, especially around the belly. Yes, metabolism does slow down with age, but sometimes stubborn belly fat isn't about eating more, it's about the liver struggling to process fats and sugars correctly. When your liver is sluggish, it can't regulate blood sugar effectively, and the excess gets stored as fat. I often tell people, if your waistband keeps getting tighter, don't just blame the donuts. Ask if your liver is in trouble. This isn't fear-mongering, it's reality, and the sooner you connect the dots, the sooner you can take action. Now, let's talk about skin issues. Did you know your skin is like a mirror for your liver's health? Persistent itchiness, rashes, or even dark spots can sometimes be linked to poor liver function. Think about it. If the liver isn't filtering properly, toxins can build up and find their way out through the skin. I remember an older neighbor who couldn't figure out why. Her arms were always itchy. She tried lotions, allergy meds, even changing laundry detergents. But the real culprit was her liver working overtime. Once she changed her diet and reduced alcohol, her symptoms improved dramatically. Isn't it fascinating how our body tries to communicate with us? Digestive issues are another silent cry. Frequent bloating, indigestion, or even nausea after fatty meals can all point toward liver stress. The liver produces bile, which helps digest fats, and when it struggles, the whole digestive system feels the ripple effect. So if you've ever felt uncomfortably bloated after what seems like a normal meal, that's worth paying attention to. And if this sounds like you, let me know in the comments. I want to hear your stories, because so many of us are dealing with these things in silence. Here's a symptom. Most people never connect with the liver. Mood swings and brain fog. Yes. Your emotions and clarity of thought can actually be linked to how well your liver is functioning. Why? Because when toxins build up, they don't just affect your body. they affect your brain chemistry. I've spoken with people who were shocked to discover their irritability and foggy memory were tied to liver health. One man in his late 50s told me, "I thought I was just becoming a grumpy old guy." But once he supported his liver with healthier habits, he noticed his mind felt sharper and his mood more stable. That's the power of listening to your body. Another overlooked sign is changes in urine or stool color. Dark urine or pale stools may not sound like polite dinner conversation, but they're one of the liver's clearest warning signals. If you ever notice this, don't ignore it. It's your liver waving that red flag loud and clear. I know it can feel uncomfortable to talk about, but silence only makes the problem worse. Yellowing of the skin or eyes, known as jaundice, is a more advanced sign. But here's the catch. Even a slight yellowish tinge can appear before things get serious. The problem is, most of us dismiss it until it's obvious. I often ask people, when was the last time you really looked at your eyes in the mirror? That simple act can tell you a lot about your health. Let's not forget swelling in the ankles or legs. Many people think this is just about circulation, but in truth, it can be related to liver trouble too. When the liver can't produce proteins like albumin properly, fluid balance in the body gets disrupted. I once met a woman who wore compression socks for years without realizing her swelling was tied to her liver. Isn't it wild how one organ can affect so many parts of us? Another silent cry is a decreased tolerance for alcohol or medications. If one glass of wine suddenly feels like two, or if over-the-counter drugs leave you unusually drowsy, that could be your liver telling you it can't process things the way it used to. Age does play a role, yes, but a struggling liver amplifies the effect. Finally, let's talk about frequent infections or weakened immunity. Remember, the liver supports the immune system, and when it falters, you may notice you're catching colds more often or taking longer to recover. A huge red flag, especially for those of us over 50 who want to stay active and vibrant. So what do we do about all this? First, don't panic. Awareness is the first step. If you recognize any of these signs in yourself, see your doctor and get some tests done. But beyond that, support your liver daily. Eat more whole foods, reduce alcohol, watch your sugar intake, and stay hydrated. Even small steps like adding more leafy greens or drinking water first thing in the morning can give your liver a helping hand. And here's my heartfelt advice. Treat your liver as you would a trusted friend who's always been there for you. Because that's exactly what it is. It's been cleaning up after you, protecting you, working tirelessly every single day of your life. Doesn't it deserve some love in return? If any of this resonates with you, drop a comment below and share your experience. Have you ever ignored a symptom only to later realize it was something bigger? Your story could help someone else. And if you find this information valuable, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because we're building a community where knowledge is power and health is the foundation of a fulfilling life. Now, I want to leave you with a twist. You might think the liver is fragile, that once it's damaged, it's all downhill. But here's the incredible truth. The liver is the only organ in your body that can regenerate itself. Yes, even if you've made mistakes, even if you've ignored its cries, even if you've lived decades without paying attention, your liver has the ability to heal. That's why catching these signs matters so much. It's never too late to give your liver a second chance. And by doing so, you're giving yourself a second chance too. So the next time you feel that unusual fatigue, see that unexpected itch, or notice that stubborn belly fat, don't just shrug it off. Ask yourself, is my liver crying out for help? Because once you start listening, once you start responding, you might just unlock a new chapter of energy, vitality, and health. In your life, your liver has been whispering all along. The question is, are you ready to listen?